When my ex invited me to his wedding, I thought it was a joke. We had not spoken in almost 2 years. No birthday messages, no random check-ins, nothing. Then suddenly, an email appeared. "Hi, Sarah. I really hope you will come. It would mean a lot." I should have ignored it. Instead, I said yes. And what happened at that wedding did not just reopen old feelings. It exposed a secret I was never supposed to know. My name is Sarah. I am 31 now, but this story started when I was 29. My ex, Daniel, and I were together for 5 years. 5 serious, real adult years. We met at work. Same company, different departments. He was funny in this quiet, dry way. The kind of guy who did not talk much in meetings but would lean over afterward and whisper something that made me laugh. Our relationship grew slowly. Coffee breaks turned into lunch together. Lunch turned into late-night messages. Messages turned into real dates. And before I knew it, Daniel was the person I told everything to. He remembered small things. He brought me soup when I was sick. He once drove an hour just because I casually mentioned I missed a dessert from my hometon. For a long time, I thought he was the person I did marry. But life does not always end where you expect. Around year 4, things started changing. Not dramatically. Just distance. He got busier at work. I started a new role with longer hours. We stopped having long conversations and started having quick check-ins. We still loved each other. But it felt like we were slowly drifting into routine instead of growing. Then came the argument. It was not even about something huge. I wanted to move to another city for a career opportunity. He did not want to leave. We talked about long distance. He said he was not sure it would work. I said I could not give up the opportunity. And somehow, after weeks of trying to find a compromise, we broke up. No cheating, no betrayal, just 2 people choosing different paths. It was quiet, painful, mature. And honestly, that almost made it worse. Because there was no villain. Just unfinished feelings. After the breakup, we tried to stay polite at work for a while. Then Daniel transferred to another branch, and eventually, we stopped seeing each other completely. Months passed. Then a year. Then almost 2. I dated casually, but nothing serious. Sometimes I thought about him, usually late at night or when I heard a song we used to like. But life moved on. Until one evening, everything shifted again. I was checking emails after dinner when I saw his name. Subject line, wedding invitation. My heart skipped. For a second, I thought it must be spam or some group email. But when I opened it, it was clearly personal. "Hi, Sarah. I know this might feel strange. I am getting married next month. I did really like you to come if you feel comfortable. You were an important part of my life, and it would mean a lot to have you there. No pressure. I understand if you had rather not. Daniel." I stared at the screen for a long time. Getting married. The words felt unreal. A part of me felt a sharp, unexpected ache. Another part felt curious. Why would he invite me? Was it politeness? Closure? Or something else? I told myself I did ignore it. But that night, I could not sleep. Memories kept replaying. Our first trip together. The way he used to squeeze my hand in crowded places. The quiet comfort we had. By morning, I still had not decided. So I called my best friend, Chloe. She listened quietly and then said, "Do you still love him?" I hesitated. "I don't know." She sighed. "Then the real question is, will going hurt you or help you move on?" I thought about it all day. And finally, I replied, "Thank you for inviting me. I will come." The moment I sent it, my stomach flipped. The wedding was 3 weeks later. I spent way too long choosing what to wear. Not because I wanted to impress him, or at least that's what I told myself. But I did not want to look like I was struggling either. I settled on a simple navy dress, elegant, neutral, safe. The venue was beautiful. Outdoor ceremony, soft lights, flowers everywhere. As soon as I arrived, nerves hit me. What if seeing him brought everything back? What if it was awkward? What if his fiancée hated me? I almost turned around and left. But then I heard someone call my name. Sarah. I turned. Daniel. For a moment, everything else faded. He looked older but familiar, same warm eyes, same calm smile. Hey, he said softly. Hey, I replied. There was a brief, strange pause. Then he said, I am really glad you came. And the way he said it felt genuine. Not polite. Not forced. Real. We talked for a few minutes. Small things, work, life, mutual friends. It felt surprisingly easy. Comfortable, even. Then someone called him from across the lawn. I should go, he said, but thank you for being here. He hesitated, like he wanted to say something else. But instead, he smiled and walked away. I watched him go, my chest tight with emotions I thought were long gone. That's when I noticed something odd. The seating chart. I walked over, scanning the names. Couples were seated together. Families together. Friends grouped logically. Then I found mine. Sarah, front row. Front row. My stomach dropped. Why would his ex be seated in the front row? I tried to brush it off. Maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe there were not many guests. But as I sat down, I realized something else. Right next to my seat was an empty chair labeled reserved. No name. Just reserved. The ceremony started. Music played. Guests stood. And then the bride walked in. Her name was Emma. She looked beautiful, calm, smiling as she walked toward Daniel. Everyone watched her. But I noticed something else. Daniel was not looking at her. Not at first. For a brief moment, his eyes found mine. And something passed across his face. Not regret. Not sadness. Something deeper. The ceremony went smoothly. Vows, laughter, applause. They kissed. Everyone cheered. And I told myself, that's it. Closure, you can leave after dinner. But during the reception, everything changed. I was standing near the drinks table when Emma approached me. The bride. My heart jumped. Hi, you are Sarah, right? She said warmly. Oh, yes. She smiled. I have heard a lot about you. That made me freeze. Oh, I said carefully. All good things, she added quickly. Daniel always said you helped him become the person he is. I did not know what to say. Then she said something unexpected. Can I ask you something honest? It's okay. She lowered her voice slightly. Did you know he almost did not invite you? My stomach tightened. No. She nodded slowly. He was not sure if it would be fair, but I told him he should. Why? I asked, confused. Emma smiled softly. Because I knew he needed to see you one more time, before closing that chapter. My chest felt tight. Before I could respond, she added. And I needed to meet the woman he once thought he did marry. That sentence landed heavy. But she did not sound jealous. She sounded calm, secure. Then she surprised me again. He wrote you a letter, she said quietly. My heart skipped. What? She handed me a small envelope. He asked me to give this to you tonight, after the ceremony. My hands trembled slightly as I took it. I stepped outside to the garden, away from the noise, and opened it. Inside was a handwritten note. Sarah, if you are reading this, it means you came. Thank you. I wanted you here because you were a huge part of my life, and I never properly said goodbye. For a long time, I wondered if we made the wrong choice. But meeting Emma helped me understand something important. Loving someone does not always mean they are the person you are meant to end up with. You helped shape me into someone ready for this life. And I hope, wherever you are, you find someone who feels like home the way she does to me. I am grateful for what we had, truly. Daniel. By the time I finished reading, my eyes were full of tears. Not sad tears. Not exactly. More like release. But then I noticed something else. At the bottom, a small extra line. P.S. That front row seat was not an accident. You deserve to see this chapter close properly. I let out a shaky laugh. And in that moment, I finally felt something I had not realized I needed. Peace. I went back inside feeling lighter. For the first time since the breakup, seeing Daniel did not hurt. It felt complete. Later, as I was leaving, Daniel caught up with me near the exit. Hey, he said, heading out. Yeah. He looked slightly nervous. Did you get the letter? I nodded. It was beautiful, I said honestly. He exhaled in relief. I just wanted you to know, I will always care about you, but I am happy, really happy. I smiled. I can see that. There was one last quiet pause. Then I said, I am glad I came. So am I, he replied. We hugged briefly. Not romantic. Not lingering. Just two people who once loved each other, finally letting go. As I walked to my car, I realized something surprising. I was not thinking about the past. I was thinking about the future. About how maybe, just maybe, my story was not behind me. It was still waiting ahead. And sometimes, saying yes to something uncomfortable is exactly what helps you move on. So tell me, would you attend your ex's wedding if they invited you? Or would that be a hard no? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy emotional, real-life confession stories like this, don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be even more intense.